Hey guys, welcome to the Bitter Jury Podcast live feed updates for Friday, August 31st, 2018, for obviously Big Brother 20. And before we hop right into it, just wanted to let you know if you enjoy what we're doing here, hit the subscribe button, comment, like, the bell thing. You guys know how this works, but I still have to say it. And also, we have a Discord link in the description. Hit us up and we'll hang out and talk about feeds, Big Brother, spoilers, whatever. It's all good.
Yeah.
With that said, my name's Daniel,
I'm Jacob.
and let's hop right into it, Jake.
Yeah, let's do it. Man, last night was super exciting. It was probably the most fun I've had watching feeds in quite a while. Um, we had uh we had Scotty bringing all of the energy, just coming back and yeah, bringing all of the energy and bouncing all over the place, which was super fun to watch. What did you think of Scotty's return, Daniel?
Oh, dude, he had a great entrance, kicking the door down. I'm
Yeah,
back. Oh, it was perfect. I loved it. I love Scotty, and I'm so glad that he was able to beat Fessy in that battle back. Because oh man, the feeds would have been the worst if he was
Could-
there. But we've already talked about that. Um, so after the episode ended,
right,
um,
right afterwards.
right afterwards, the house got busy and everyone's kind of freaking out. Everyone's actually really excited because everyone left in the house actually really, really likes Scotty as a person, but as a game player, they know he's a threat, right? And
Right.
so he's a target, but everyone still loves him. So it's a really weird dichotomy and lots of emotions going on with them.
Yeah, you see that, especially after the HOH comp, where everybody's showering, and we'll get into the HOH comp in a second. But like everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe Scotty's back! It's amazing!" Like he brings the house energy up, and I feel like having a week of Fassi on the block kind of drained the energy of the house, and having Scotty come back was the perfect sort of antithesis of that, where you just have him immediately bring the energy back up. So everybody's sort of frantic and manic before the HOH comp kicks back in, and we got to see some frantic and manic bits of Sam. What did you think of Sam immediately after Scotty gets back, going and talking to Angela?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, she felt like she had to cover herself because she voted to keep Fessy,
mhm,
which I feel was really a weird decision on her part,
right.
especially after his horrible speech and like throwing her under the bus and just making stuff up about her. And she's like, it really hurt my feelings. And
Yeah,
so we'll talk about more of that when she talks to Haley, but right now she's
yeah,
talking to Angela, and so pretty much just kind of like, hey, I voted for Fessy, he was my little buddy, and all this stuff, and just I
yeah,
love you, and then they exchange the I love yous,
yeah,
and Sam just like keeps talking in that kind of Sam way of just like, let me keep telling my whole life story again, and
yeah. We're
Angela's here just like, yeah, yeah, yeah,
uh-huh.
oh hugs, yes, yes,
Yeah,
hugs,
yeah,
I feel you. Yeah, and
yeah.
so that
It's
happened.
it's absolutely nuts because like what ends up happening is she's like, "Hey, Fessy really offended me, so it changed my decision at the last minute. I was gonna vote with y'all, but then he said those really hurtful things about you, so I decided to keep him," which makes zero sense. Like
Yeah,
that.
at that
So
point, she's just talking out of her ass, trying to
yeah,
figure out, like, try to make an excuse on the spot why she voted differently. I mean, Sam doesn't know this, but Angela doesn't care. She
yeah,
knows that Sam's expendable and whatever, and no one cares what she votes. But
right.
Sam remembers how Scotty got out and all the crazy swing votes that happened earlier on in the season, and she feels like she still has to cover for herself. But they don't care.
Yeah, if this
This
was
is
anybody but Sam, she would have to worry. But because Sam has this sort of reputation of being a little bit manic, nobody really cares. Even before the vote, we heard Angela and Tyler tell her to vote her conscience. So they wouldn't have really cared either way what happened with her vote. But like, it's just more of Sam being Sam, and it's great. We're here for it on the feeds. So
right. And so, while this is going on, Scotty's just, going crazy that we talked about. But then he starts like he gets all these questions about the jury house. And so he just starts talking and doing all this stuff. And the feeds were just like giving me epilepsy how much they were shutting it down. Like, stop talking about production, fish tank.
Right.
Stop talking about production, fish tank. Fish tank. You don't even hear that time. I mean,
Yeah.
it's getting kind of ridiculous. It's like we know there's production. You're not pulling us out of like a make believe thing. So
Yeah.
I find it kind of annoying. I understand why they don't want you talking about production because there's secrets and whatnot.
For
But
sure.
still, I mean,
But
I feel like they get a little
yeah,
touchy about it.
the person in charge of the button gets a little trigger happy because like all Scotty was doing was talking about what shows he was watching on Netflix, and it doesn't, like you were saying, it doesn't pull us out of the experience of Big Brother to hear that they have a Netflix subscription in the jury house. Like it doesn't bother me at all. What bothers me more is having to go back to that stupid fish tank that incidentally enough, Scotty cared a lot about. He was sad to hear one of his fish buddies died, and uh, ran up immediately to to talk to the other fish. And we got to see that for a couple of minutes, which was super fun. But yeah, Scotty just sort of bringing the energy back up in the house and gets into quite a bit of trouble with production for talking so much about the jury house.
But we
But
thoroughly enjoyed the look into the jury house. At least I did.
for sure, yeah,
It's always fun to know a little bit behind the scenes, which they really
yeah,
don't like you to see.
it's really nice to know. But production's gonna production, and yeah, we got to see a lot of the fish tank.
Yep, a lot of the fish tank. And then throughout this whole space, it took about 3 hours from the end of the East Coast competition. It started at 1 a.m. Eastern and 10.
10, yeah, 10
It
Pacific.
started at like 10:30 p.m.
Right,
Pacific time. The HOH competition is what I'm talking about.
right.
And so between the end of the eviction episode and that time, they were all just sitting around, just like, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. They're eating yogurt, drinking a lot of coffee, and
Yeah.
they don't know what the competition's going to be. And they find out that they might have not made the best decisions.
Yeah, dairy before a spinning comp is never a good idea, and boy, oh boy, did they get punished. We got to see exactly why Vegas tweeted that they're going to need their barf buckets for this one, and boy, oh boy, was that true. We had the classic spinning around in a circle, try to stay on this rope competition, and wow, some people were thrown for a loop right away. Um,
Oh, yeah. At one point, it actually reminded me of the Sandlot, um, where
yeah,
okay, so well, you described it already, so we'll just hop it right into the competition. So it's set as like, I guess, kind of like a carnival almost. They
hmm
have like candy and popcorn and stuff on the side. Angela's there just chilling out, eating fun dip,
hmm
and they're on these ropes, and the ropes are rotating, and there's also like a giant pie that
Oh,
it's like a I guess it's like a giant pad, like probably 10 foot by 10 foot, but it's kind of like shaped and painted or whatever, like a pie. And
right.
so they're going like that on the ropes, and then you bam, you hit into it, and you just keep going. And so it's an endurance comp. And the first one to go, which I kind of expected, was JC, and he went very early.
Yeah. Within like 2 minutes of us seeing the comp start, he was like, "Yeah, this is not my comp." Um, and so he was very much out of it from the very beginning. And this, in my perspective, just kind of encapsulates JC's lack of a physical game. Like this is a competition he needed to win, in my opinion. And he just checked out way too early, and he couldn't handle it. So he jumps down, and
Yeah, yeah, he needed to win, not because he's not safe this week, but he needed to win because if he's gonna want to win, have any shot at winning Big Brother, he needs to make some big shots and needs to take them now.
right.
But and I feel like he should have held on or tried a little bit harder than he did.
Yeah, plus HOH is a position where you get all sorts of information that you might not be privy to otherwise. And so, like, we've already seen JC has this ability to spin information any way he really wants. And so, if he was able to get himself into that position, he might be able to put together some of the ragtag members that are not solid level sixes at this point and create a different coalition. But again, he just sort of doesn't have that foresight, so he drops.
Yeah. But, maybe he was having a bad day. His
Yeah.
cafecito was messing with his stomach.
Yeah,
Whatever.
right.
And so from then on, for probably almost, well, I'd say almost 20 minutes,
Right.
nothing else really happens. They just keep going back and spinning and spinning. And then they get shot with this jam, I think.
Yeah. It was
Sort
supposed
of
to be
jam
ketchup
and
and
sprinkle.
ketchup and
Yeah.
mustard, but it was definitely more gelatinous than ketchup would be. I don't think they actually shot ketchup at them. I think Brett said that it tasted like jam, so it
Yeah, like
was a
strawberry and banana jam or something like that.
yeah.
Anyways, and they let Brett have it right in the face just every
Mhm.
time. He was probably got wrecked the most by that jam. It was
Yeah.
I felt bad for him, to be honest.
Yeah, he was mad at the person who was shooting the jam at him off camera. He was not very happy with that particular production member, but it seems not to be personal. But he did get the brunt of the ketchup and mustard jam for sure.
Oh yeah. And then throughout this time, Brett is starting to sound kind of woozy, like, "Oh, I don't feel good," kind of
Yeah,
burping and just like, "Ugh." And
yeah,
Casey, though, oh man, she was having a rough time. She was the Sandlot episode. Just at one point, she just was spinning. She's like,
yeah,
"Guys, I'm gonna puke." They're like, "Go for it." And she's just,
yeah. Yep.
"Brrr."
Yeah, yeah, it was quite something. She after puking though, she did bounce back quite hard.
Yeah, puking does that though.
Yeah.
Puking does that for you.
Yeah, she bounced back quite hard. She adopted a different stance. She went down into what she called the Asian crouch. So,
Yeah,
oh my
yeah,
goodness, the dogs in the background are going crazy. Can you guys hear that?
yeah. Everyone can hear it. Your dogs
Oh
are the
my
worst.
goodness. One
Um,
second, I'll be right back.
okay, yeah. So then after that, after the puking, she what happens next? Oh, duh. They start dropping like flies, a couple of them. Scotty gets into this horrible, horrible tailspin. He was looking so good. He was looking so good. And then he gets crouched down, and then for some reason he hit something wrong, or I don't know exactly what happened, but he just started spinning on his rope, just out of control. It was intense for like 2 or 3 rounds. And then Sam yells from the sidelines, "Oh, Sam drops first or second, my bad." And from the sidelines, "Throw out your hand, help it stop." So he throws out his hands, and his feet just go foo, and he sits down on the rope, and apparently that's illegal, so he gets kicked out, which really disappointed me because I really, really wanted to see what would happen if Scotty won this HOH, and so unfortunately that was not to be. And then after that, it's just the four of them: Tyler, Casey, uh, Haley, and Brett. They're on there, and then they start, the jam back up again. They drop some feathers. I guess they're jamming and feathering now at this point.
Yeah.
Um, and for a long while, they last for probably another 15 minutes after that. I was impressed.
Yeah, for sure. It was really impressive to see how much they sort of fought the urge to puke and really um, buckled down. Like I said before, the stance that Casey adopted really seemed to work well for her. She was pretty pretty solid in that low crouching stance for a long time. Um, Haley and Tyler both seemed pretty solid, and Brett was,
He was hurt.
yeah, he was hurting quite a bit.
He was hurt.
Yeah,
And then after that, Casey just slips. She
yeah,
just slips, and then bam, right on her back. And so now we're down to three: Brett, Angela,
Actually,
or not Angela, Brett,
Casey
Haley,
was
and
third, so it
oh,
was
really? Brett fell first.
Brett fell first before Casey. It was Casey.
Oh, that's right. He fell really hard too.
Yeah, he fell hard.
Yeah, he fell hard. And then so now we're just at two, Tyler and Haley,
Yeah,
and they start going out, and now this big pie thing starts actually coming and hitting them. Every
yeah.
time they circle and pass it, it'll just bam, give them a hit, and just back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and it looked like to me it was hitting Haley harder, but that's just that's what it looked like to me.
Yeah, the comment section of CBS's website was not very happy that it seemed like Haley was getting the brunt of the pie to the face, shall we say? Um, but I feel like it was a difference in strategy. Like Tyler kind of let the first blow pass him. He like turned away from it, then took a second smaller hit instead of taking one hit straight at a time. So maybe it was a little bit of strategy that allowed Tyler to not be beat up by this pie. Um,
Yeah, it was. I mean, probably to be
yeah,
honest, Tyler's a smart dude. He knows how to deal with that sort of thing.
and he was on TKO. I mean, he didn't do very well, but
Also
he
true.
he does have experience getting hit by objects randomly. So I mean, he did have a little bit of a leg up.
Yeah. And then something happens at this point, which is really important later and possibly completely destroys someone else's game. And that's when Sam, everyone's just kind of like, yeah, you guys, you got it. And Sam decides to be all like, you can do it, Tyler. You got it, Tyler. You got it,
Only
Tyler.
10 more seconds, Tyler.
Yeah. And just like, and Haley does not take this well, as we will
No.
see later on. But so she decides to do that, and Haley gets hit really hard one time, and at first I thought she was done, and then she like shakes it off, gets right back in her position, like hit me as hard as you can. I don't care. I
Yeah.
got this. I got this. And then the very next time she gets laid out,
Yeah.
like bam, bam. Oh,
She
it was
she got hit so hard. It was bad. Like she recounting it later, she talked about not knowing she was on the ground until she was looking up. She was yeah, she was on concussion watch there for a
yeah.
little bit.
It,
She
it,
was
it was bad,
yeah, it was
and
not a
so
it was not a friendly hit. It was yeah, so we have a Tyler HOH.
Tyler
Um
wins.
yeah, Tyler is our HOH.
Which is
We
thoroughly the most depressing thing for me because that
mhm.
just makes everything not interesting. It's like the least possible interesting thing to happen
Yeah,
is
for
Tyler
sure.
to win HOH.
We're guaranteed now a bunch of cuddle sessions in the HOH room, which happen immediately. Like we're guaranteed that we're basically guaranteed a reset week. Like
Yeah,
we know at this point, because if you've been watching the feeds at all, you know that there's no chance Tyler's gonna put any undue blood on his hands by shaking the game up. He has no reason to. So like, um, yeah, it's just gonna be sort of laissez-faire in terms of what we see up up until the nominations. I feel like,
right. Which are currently happening, I
yeah,
believe. I don't know if feeds are back up just yet.
but
Um, you were saying?
so yeah, we we see a Tyler HOH, and so we see exactly what we sort of thought we would see, which is immediately we see Scotty um sort of go up and say, "Hey, I'm your new best friend. Remember that time you said you were my best friend? I'm your best friend. Now I'm back in the house. Can we be best friends together?" And Tyler's just like, "Maybe, dude.
Yeah, maybe that'll happen.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Let me think about putting somebody else up."
And he
He's
thinks
not.
for never, and then yeah,
Yeah,
it's yeah,
yeah. So
I'm sad.
yeah, it's quite sad for Team Good feeds that Tyler is
Good.
the reigning HOH. But yeah,
Yeah, so after HOH and all this other shenanigans go down, JC puts his plan of turning Haley and Sam into like mortal enemies into full blast. Because after they've kind of showered and stuff and getting ready, Angela, JC, and Haley are all chilling in the red room, and JC's kind of like, that was weird how Sam was only shouting out for Tyler, and then Haley takes the bait and just runs.
Yep.
She gets so pissed. Just like, I can't believe this. She comes over here. She tells me right after Scotty comes back, I'm sorry I was going to vote for you, but Fessy's speech changed me, or, he just hurt me so bad, and then I voted for him to stay, and just obviously lying through. And she just, oh, she lost it. She hates Sam at this point.
Yeah.
And like by the time this conversation ends, she's walking away like, we got to get her out. She's like my number one target at this point. And you can just see JC and Angela just kind of looking at each other like, that we did that very
Yeah,
nicely.
that worked. That's all us. I mean, we have to give a massive amount of credit, in my opinion, to JC's social game. He's been able to pitch showmance again, create love triangles, and now he's making Sam into a huge target when she's in all reality a nothing burger. That, in my opinion, everybody should be taking to the final two. But like, he's making her into this huge target, which is fantastic.
Yeah, especially in Haley's mind, just because she can't stand living with her anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. JC's had a really, really good social game, like
It's
a
too bad that
deviant
he can't
social
win
game.
any comps. The dude cannot win any comps.
Yeah,
Like,
he would be right up there with Tyler if he could win comps, but it just
right.
can't happen.
I mean, when it comes to like the puzzly things, he's at the disadvantage of like English is his second language, so he's not that quick with his vocabulary
I think it's
stuff.
his third language, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
I thought that's what he
Um,
said, or I might have
or
been
yeah.
hearing something
Well,
different from someone else.
in any case, it's not his first language, so he's at a little bit of a disadvantage there. And then, like with the physical stuff, he just doesn't seem to have it in him to hang in there, especially in comps where we would think that he would have an advantage. Um, I remember back to the tree HOH where Sam won by embracing her inner squirrel. He was supposed to win that. That comp was made for him. He was saying how it was made for him, and then he got something in his eye and fell out of the tree. So,
Yeah,
um,
it seems like he can have focus. He just gets distracted so easy, and any little piece of like real hard or annoying thing, he just falls off. Like,
mhm,
oh, I can't do this for so long. Bam. Even though it's really important that he wins it, bam.
right,
Nah. So that's
right.
one thing that bugs me about JC. If he would get that out of his character and just like, you know what? No, I'm not stopping for anything. He would probably be able to win more, and he would actually. Well, I think it's too late now, but he would have had a shot at actually winning Big Brother.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that I think it's too late for JC to win, because like nobody's really gonna give him too much credit for being able to control Fessy, um, and he's gonna really struggle, in my opinion, if he gets to a final two with that final HOH speech. Just because his brain seems so scattered all the time, where you're like, wait, what did you just say? Didn't quite catch what you said because you just said about 50 other things before that that weren't connected to the thing you just said. So,
Exactly.
so yeah, I mean, I don't know if JC has a shot to win, but it'll be interesting to see how he reacts when he is, um, in danger because we haven't seen him in danger yet.
Yeah, the one time he was almost in danger, he's Sam was like, "Okay, you're gonna go up," and he's like, "I would never do that," and she's like, "Okay,"
Yeah.
and so he's just said 3 words, and Sam was like, "I changed my mind
Yep.
now, someone else." And
Yeah.
anyways,
It's easy when that someone else is rock star though. Like,
yeah.
she was an easy someone else. Um, but
So
yeah,
that's pretty much the end of last night. So this
yeah,
morning,
yeah. This morning we have some zany conversations. Um we have Angela and Haley. Um, we start with that, and they're talking in the HOH room. Angela, Haley, and Tyler, and they're all talking about one thing in particular. They're talking about how freaking weird Sam is, and how much we need to go after Sam. And Haley's feeling really good about this because she's like, "Hey, maybe I can escape being targeted this week. Because if I can make a target out of Sam, I'm in good shape."
Yeah, little does she know that she is not playing Tyler and Angela. She is the one being played.
Yeah, it's the
It's
theme of the season.
Yeah, I mean, it's just how it happens with that side of the group. They're not there's no alliance left. Just it's sad to be honest.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, we get sort of confirmation that everybody in that room thinks that it was rude that Sam was cheering for Tyler and not for Haley, and we get Angela adding a little bit of fuel to the fire just by saying how weird she was in the bathroom. Um, Earlier that morning, but it ultimately amounts to a bit of a nothing burger because, like, if you're in Angela and Tyler's position, and let's be honest, it's a co HOH at this point, there's no benefit to keeping Haley in the game. Like, to not putting Haley on the block at the very least.
Right.
Um, she is like the last super core member of Falte who you've been fighting with the entire season and beating the entire season. So it's about they're ready to clean house. That talk really didn't do much.
Yeah. After that, Sam decides to have a really interesting I guess it's like a bolstering conversation with Tyler, just like how proud she is of Tyler, how she'll never waver, whatever he wants, she got it.
Yeah,
Just kind of like I'm still like in there with you and he's like, "Yeah, I love you. It's great." And I mean, I think she's starting to realize or maybe she's not at all and she's
I,
just
I
like
don't think
this
so,
is her
but
default of just like I don't lie, you don't lie. Perfect.
right. Yeah, I mean, she's just like, listen, whatever you need me to do, even if it's like walking out of the house, I'll do it. You just gotta let me know, Tyler. But I can't let anybody else know because then they'll all know that we know that we're cool, and that can't happen. So I'm gonna be just your sideline cheerleader, and you just tell me what I need to do, and I'll do it for you.
Yeah,
And
she's
Tyler's like, yeah, okay, except for the time that you decided at the very last minute to vote not the way I wanted, and but of course he doesn't let her know that he's all sunshine and rainbows as well. And gives her the story that yeah, they're definitely going to go to the end, and they're just going to be best buds forever. And this is all Sam needs. She's just a robot in need of input every week, and our input is just like positive affirmations of how amazing she is. And as long as you put in the required amount, she's going to be happy with you for the week.
yeah, no, that sounds quite accurate to how Sam's been dealing with Tyler this entire game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, really, with every guy too. Like she just, well, every person actually. It's even with Angela. She's just like, hey, if you tell me nice things about myself, I'm gonna be nice to you. But if I even think that you might not like me, you might go on the block if I'm HOH, which explains Haley's predicament.
Yeah.
They have nothing to bond about. Um, Sam doesn't respect Haley as like a 21-year-old girl acting like a 21-year-old girl in her opinion often does, and so there's no real starting point for them. So they're gonna they're gonna talk, and they've talked about how much they love each other and respect each other, but it's all really kind of BS because nothing really speaks to Sam when it comes to Haley, and vice versa. So I mean, those two are going to be pitted against each other until the end of time in this game, or until one of them is evicted.
Oh yeah, I agree. And then Brett, I think, does a really savvy thing for his game. Where he goes to Tyler and he's like, "Hey, Scotty would be really good for you and me." Like we have this duo thing that we kind of set up during last veto. Yeah, you and me plus Scotty, that's really strong.
Right.
And
Uh, Go ahead.
yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay. No, and I agree with Brett. This would be really good for Brett if they could pull Scotty in. And Tyler's like, uh, what is he talking about? Scotty there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just that he thinks that would be a good idea because because people see Scotty and Angela as really close and thinks it'd be a
Oh,
good shield for him.
oh no,
No?
I'm sorry. He was saying that he thinks that people always seem to pair Tyler and Angela together, and having Scotty, um, or having Brett and Scotty is kind of a nice little thing that people don't see. So like people are gonna go after Angela before they go after Scotty and Brett. So so they have a different three to rely on. And even more into that, Brett was talking about how Casey and Angela seem to be inseparable, and so they need to have their own separate guys that they can rely on because you can't split up those girls, and we need to do something immediately. And that seems to be a really smart move by Brett to sort of try to bring in Scotty a little bit.
No, I agree, and I also think I need to write more better and legible notes because holy crap, that
No, that's
was
totally fine.
embarrassing. Um, and JC kind of sneaks up on. Oh no, no, no! JC's telling Tyler this. He tells Tyler that Brett, he's trying to create the divide between Tyler and Brett. He sees that his initial pass of just kind of like, oh, Brett might not be good for your game. That wasn't working because of the veto connection that they had. He kind of tells him like, hey, Brett's feeling like he's at the bottom, and all this stuff, and kind of like he approached me, and there might be this plan to put up Angela and Casey, which JC was the one who actually proposed to Brett, and Brett was just kind of like,
Yes.
"Yeah, that might work." And so pretty much JC flips the screen and says, "Brett kind of came to me saying that if he wins HOH, he wants to put up Angela Casey. So there's this thing, and just trying to secure himself another week, which is going to be really hard. So he's pulling out all the stops.
Yeah.
And Tyler's like, you know what? That'll just wait till Scotty's dealt with,
Yeah.
which made me sad because I really want Scotty to stay in the game, and I think if they wait too long, they're going to lose their chances at HOHs. I mean, I know they're good competitors. Like Tyler's a good competitor, but whoever wins the next the HOH in probably 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks is going to be making some huge moves. And if that's not Tyler or Sam, then Tyler might be in trouble.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Like, I just want to say, like, JC is in full panic mode, right now. Like, um, he was in panic mode earlier in the night, and he's really like a spinning top. He's going around and trying to see what's gonna stick, and so he's talking to everybody and sort of, trying to pin things on Scotty, and everybody in his alliance, to his knowledge, should be on board with that. But there's this other sort of sneaking little thing that comes in sort of the side that maybe Haley isn't a bad choice. Like, um, we have a talk that night that says, like, okay, basically Tyler wants to, if he can, um, get Haley out. But the rest of level 6 is like, but Scott is a comp threat. And so we have a little bit of that tension going on, and Tyler doesn't seem to really care. He wants one of them gone, but he would prefer, I think, for his game that Haley is the one to go.
Right.
And I don't know if I agree with that because I think having having Scotty in the game without Haley makes Scotty so much better of a player. Haley is the only thing distracting Scotty right now because he's like, "Ooh, pretty girl. Let me go spend all my time with her." If you leave Scotty in the game, then by himself with no distractions, no weird fake alliance to cling to, he's gonna start making free agent type moves, and that can be kind of scary for Tyler. At least I would think so.
Oh, I would definitely agree, and I would love to see it. I would love to see it.
Oh yeah, I would be on board for for Scotty to be on his own. That would be super fun. Again, I don't think that's where Tyler's gonna end up this week, but it's possible.
Yeah, I mean, and even JC pays him probably one of JC's highest compliments, saying that Scotty's probably the least stupid person in the house. So
Right.
I mean, there's that.
Yes. By the way, JC, when you're talking to somebody who is the current HOH, you probably don't want to insinuate that they are one of the dummies in the house. Just saying. Pro tip. Like,
Pro tip.
pro tip. Just don't insinuate in any way that Tyler or any HOH is less smart than one of your competitors while they're in power. I mean, I don't
Why?
think it matters, but I mean, in another season it might. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, and we've kind of alluded to it before, but the nominations, as far as we know, what Tyler's been thinking and saying, and it's pretty much for sure. Um, Haley and Scotty going up. And I believe their nomination ceremony is probably almost done if it isn't over now.
yeah,
And so we would be able to confirm that as soon as we stop streaming, unless you pull
yeah,
that up right
I
now.
can pull that up. Let me see. Give me 1 second. We
Um,
can move on to the next little tidbit, and I'll pull it up right now.
yeah. I mean, because that's pretty much all I have, really. We've pretty much caught up
Yeah.
to the nomination ceremony when we went all black on the feeds.
Yeah. So let's see if we have a.
Coming at you live.
Yeah. This is
Anything?
live interneting, folks. So let's see. Um,
You got 5 seconds.
uh, I'm getting the warning about Big Brother's house full of people. Blah 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 blah.
Doesn't
We
sound
do,
like we have anything
we
yet.
we are out of the nomination ceremony
All right.
missing live
So,
feeds,
you know what
but
that means. If anybody's watching this right now, hop onto the feeds. We'll find out exactly how the nom ceremony went down. I'm positive it's Scotty and Haley up on the block, and looking forward to seeing what happens there.
yeah, let's pray for an interesting veto.
Yeah, come on, Scotty, win the veto,
Yep,
and then HOH next week. I'm so down.
yep.
With that, we're gonna end this video, the stream, this whatever. Remember, if you enjoyed it, hit us with a subscribe, a like, a comment, little bell thing. And if you're interested in talking Big Brother, we have a Discord there in the description. Join up and say hey. Um,
Yeah, I
with
think that's
that,
it.
yeah, with that, I'm Daniel,
I'm Jacob, and this has been the live
and
feeds.
we're out. Later.
Peace.